Welcome to Malta. Hey guys, what's up? Eldon here. Today we are in Malta. Valletta, Malta. Sounds like a Austin Powers name. Is that a Honda Prelude? Anyways, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're in Malta. And yeah, we're here for today until from noon till 9, and we have an excursion we're going to around 2 o'clock. It's a walking tour with the tour guide, and we're gonna go into Valletta, downtown Valletta. It's like a little old town with a lot of history, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then the rest of the day we're gonna be walking around and just kind of getting into things and see what else comes our way. So. We may have time to visit Popeye's village. This is the same port where Adam went a couple months ago and did the Popeye's village. I was looking it up and I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot he was here. Pretty cool. So anyways, we're here until 9 o'clock tonight. I unfortunately missed the footage in, but tonight when we leave, stay tuned in the video, is when the city lights up, and it's gonna be a really amazing view. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna go get ready to get off the ship, start our day. So let's go. Man, I was just sitting up here watching these cars, and they drive on the opposite side of the road out here. Everywhere else I've been to, Italy, Greece, Albania, all like America, same side of the road. But here, they drive on the opposite side. It's so weird to see. It's gonna be weird being in a car or any kind of shuttle or something on this road, thinking we're on the wrong side of the road. Very interesting though. I like to see the different cars they have in different areas around the world, or in different ports around the world, around the different areas in the Mediterranean area. Anyways, Mediterranean Sea area. Anyways, let's get off the ship. Start our day. Mediterranean. Why can't it just stick? Mediterranean. You'd think on this cruise how many times I've been saying this, it would stick. Oh yeah, Mediterranean. Mediterranean. I should make it a little accent. No, I don't know. But anyways, we're here. And then, oh, another princess. Oh no, that's not a princess ship. That's another ship. Oh my gosh. There's more over here. This is crazy. So this is all this was built to keep enemy out of Malta. They built these like castle-like buildings. There's a proper name for it. Not good at that right now, but don't know the exact word. But they built these as a fortress to keep the enemies out. They had like cannons and stuff. Crazy. Oh, look at this little boat. I was looking up this boat last night. It's like an hour-long excursion that goes around the area and kind of goes sightseeing. But it was sold out. 2 weeks. And it's about $60 a person. So Viator, if you guys are trying to look for excursions, what to do here, I'd suggest check on Viator, download the app. There's so many things on there to book. Look at that, and then look at this. Got some yachts down here. Wow, this is so cool, man. Crazy to think, right? We're here. Oh yeah, and this is that other ship. I'm not sure what ship this is. Huh. It looks very similar, like a princess ship. You know what? That looks like the ship that was in San Francisco not too long ago. Same kind. Oh, it's got the same logo in the front too. Oh, it's owned by Princess. It's the same company. I think. I can't think of it. I'll have to look it up real quick. All right, I just looked it up. It's P&O Services. So I'm not sure if it's. I don't think it's owned by Princess. From my understanding, I tried looking it up. My service is horrible right now. My YouTube video is uploading. It's at 30%. It's been uploading for the last 2 days. So service out here has not been the best. So unfortunately, but it is uploading. We will get these videos uploaded. Running a little behind on videos. So we still have 2, 3, 4, 5 more days of vlogs. So man, gotta get these up. It's because of service. It's one of those things, you know. And especially for if you're gonna be a daily vlogger like some people, it's very difficult to get videos up every day. And this is with the paid service for the internet. So, anyways, we're gonna make our way down. Start our day. All right. Well, Lindsay here found a little hack. She went to the buffet, and what did you find?
I got some like veggies and fruits that I wanted to put into a smoothie since they don't have a smoothie thing on this boat, and I like to be healthy. And anyway, I had them blend up basically a salad for me.
There you go.
So,
get your fiber.
There we go.
So if you guys are looking for something like that, there you go. All right. Welcome to Malta. Alright, so when you first get off the ship, all of your excursions, your buses, are right outside. So very easy to get to. Within like maybe a 5-minute walk, if anything. Looks like they're all lined up right here, so not a far walk at all. Unfortunately, ours is a walking tour. So we got to go into town. We got to figure out a way to get into town. Maybe take a taxi, or I don't know if there's Uber here or not. I got to figure that out. But get into town and then get to our meetup spot, which is in about an hour and a half. Yeah, we'll make it. Sapphire Princess. And this is Azura. No, that would suck. Right by the edge of the water here. It's like, don't fall in. Wow.
John, ask that lady right there.
Oh, look at this, dude. This is. I love the styling. Well, it's not a style. This is how they built their buildings back then. That is so cool. Right across the P&O cruise ship. See, it's basically a Princess cruise ship. All they did was different was put the logo in there instead of the Princess logo. The witch. These little cars, man. Everything is right-hand drive. It's crazy. Opposite side of the road, opposite side of the car. Wow, so we got like about 20-25 minute walk to our location. Maybe 30 minutes at most. That's cool. Yeah, BMW. Wow. Very interesting cars out here. Sorry. Oh. I finally saw a first American car, Ford, okay. I'm like, I don't see any American cars here. 3 in a row? Oh, okay, so there's some here. Yeah, interesting. Even the bus is right-hand drive. That's cool. Everything, well, that's what it's like, another country. Uh-oh. One of the flames went out. There she is. Sapphire. In Skywalker's nightclub. And just like that, it is raining. They said a 14% chance of rain. Looks like we found that 14% chance.
24 at this point.
24? Ah, okay. It had gone up a little bit. Wow, look at that rock crawler. Little off-road vehicle. Land Cruiser. Right-hand drive. Huh. Little fountain here. Cannons. Really cool place, man. Very slippery road or sidewalks. It's not even a sidewalk, it's just like something else when it's wet. This might be slippery too. Yep, that's slippery. Oh, duh. That must be made of copper because it's like really iodized? That's what it's called. It turns green like that. Dang. This is crazy. It's called patina. I was way off. I thought iodized? I don't know where I got from, but patina. I guess it turns green when it gets wet. Alright, so we're walking out to this fountain. And I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. I didn't realize we were walking through. It's a fortress. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, so we are here now. This whole thing is like a base. It's got walls all the way around it. That's crazy. Look at this fountain. Looks like something from Married with Children. Alright, so the tour starts here in front of this building. We walked a little farther than we should have. We went to the fountain. But yeah, look for the lady in yellow. And we showed up early. We showed up before she was even here. Put that in the books, guys. 24% chance. Wow.
Like 100 to me.
It looks like 100 for sure. It is dumping. Pretty high chance it's dumping today. She dressed accordingly. I didn't.
Barely. I'm
didn't,
still
yeah.
cold. I thought it was going to be warmer since in the high 60s. It's not.
At least you're dressed for it. I'm
Like,
like
I brought my rain coat.
a button-up t-shirt. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. It's not gonna rain that much. Boom.
And you'd like to visit certain places, you'll have an idea where to go to as well. Now, usually during our tours, we take a 20-minute break, which is included in the 3 hours. Now, the 20-minute break is usually outside, so if it's raining, what we do is we skip the break and we finish earlier instead. So we finish around 20 to 30 minutes earlier instead if it's still raining by the time of the break. 1566. So most of the things we're going to see today or talk about today are going to be dating to this period or else a bit more modern. Like what we have over here, it's not something that you find in 1566. So all of this is actually
1366.
More modern. And this is because Valletta went through a lot of changes. So when we talk about our city, there were several things that changed. It changed because different rulers had different needs and wants. We also had different projects being launched by different people. Apart from that, we also had the devastation of the Second World War, where we were also going to have, let's say, a lot of the city that needed to be rebuilt. Now, when Valletta was actually being rebuilt, perhaps they did not always pay that much of an attention about what we actually have surrounding us. So it was all done in a haste. They needed to finish this building. So, for instance, when it comes to the entrance of our city, where we are located right now, they did not always pay that much of an attention what they were doing. So the first impression of our city entrance of our city after the war wasn't really the best one. Instead of the gate we have over here, there used to be another fortified gate. It was a building, a block of building, practically all closed off with arches, and underneath the arches there used to be horses. So I have to admit it wasn't really the cleanest of spaces. Instead of this building over here, we had a car park, and then it was the ruins of the Opera House on the other side, where people unfortunately used to throw trash. Now, the thing is that it was not doing any justice to the rest of the architecture that we have within our city, and apart from that, we, let's say, also got to know that in 2018, Valletta is going to be the European capital of culture.
So these are lances. This was a gate meant back in the day to keep people out. And this guy from, what is his name? From Italy? Something Piano?
Old name.
Yeah, some guy, they hired very famous architecture from Italy. And he designed this. I guess the city hired him.
Renzo Piano.
Renzo Piano. I'm so bad with names. You just told me, I can't still. But yeah, they put these here as a sign of welcome, as opposed to like sticking out.
They're supposed to represent a lance, so instead of a sign of war going towards you, they're standing upright to be a salute.
Like a salute to people. So now we're going to the garden? Something. What garden is this?
Hastings Garden.
Hastings Garden. Okay.
It's a good example of the limestone.
So when limestone's not taken care of, it looks similar to that. There you go. This whole city's made out of limestone. This is the capital, by the way, of Malta. It's Valletta. Alright, so where we're standing is the wall of the fortress. That's part of it right here. It goes around the outside there. And then this is the garden. All here. So back in the day, they had built another fortress. It is located way over there. And the St. John's Knights who built it afterwards were like, this is way too far inland. We need to be closer to the shore in case we do get invaded. So they had left that fortress. This guy's flying a drone. And then the Knights of St. John built this fortress right here next to the harbor. Pretty crazy, man. They hand built all this, you know? Built something so massive with this much limestone. Now if you notice these little windows here, how they're kind of like shaped outward, it's so they can attack people, invaders that are coming in easier. Also, I don't think this is part of the fortress. I think that was added afterwards. This little garden area. I was looking at that, I was like, wait a minute, that looks a little off. But anyways, the designer who came up from Italy that is kind of updating things, he had designed a lot of stuff that within the fortress here, and made it like newer, modern designs with a little bit of later taste, you know. And a lot of people here did not like that, but over time it grew onto them, and now they're okay with it. But one thing about the culture here is that they like to complain, and so our tour guide said is that they love to complain. It's just part of their nature. They're not too happy, but they are happy people, but they just like to complain that. So it's kind of interesting, huh? Caves on here. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to the tour. So a lot of this design is Roman design because it was conquered by the Romans back in the same era when Rome was developed. It's pretty cool. So it looks like we're like right back in Rome. So yeah, we're inside of a fortress right now. And Valletta is its own fortress city. So everything outside the walls is a different city. You see this building here? That was designed by the guy from Italy. And a lot of the locals here hated it because they said it reminded them of a giant cheese grater. But over time, they just started to like it. Now the designer made it look like limestone that's been deteriorating a little bit, trying to make it look like that on top of the black stuff there. But not so much same looks. It does look like a giant cheese grater, doesn't it? So this building here this wasn't built, of course, with the rest of the fortress. Oh. So again, some of the locals weren't big fans. They were happy that someone was coming in to kind of bring back some of the original designs, but not so much that kind of thing. Architect, not designer.
The third part of the Piano project, which is actually this building over here. Now, this would actually be today the open theatre, sorry. That's why when you see the scaffolding, it's all for the light and sound department to actually make use of it. Now, in the past, in the 1860s, this was the Royal Opera House, and it was something of pride and joy for the people. A lot of people used to come to Malta to actually start off their career within this theatre. So we're talking about giving us a view to their career within this place. It was actually very successful, but the history was very unfortunate as well. Unfortunate in a way that it only took a couple of years from the 1860s until the 1870s for rehearsals to be happening within the building. There was actually a misfire. They were still using candlelight and not the electricity, and the whole interior caught on fire. Unfortunately, it was destroyed. The interior was completely destroyed, and it had to be rebuilt. But the people, they did not give up yet. They actually decided to reinvest and reopen. Second time round, it was actually quite successful, but we had another tragedy. This time round, however, it was going to be 1942, so that's the Second World War. And the Opera House unfortunately received some direct attacks from the aerial bombardments and collapsed completely.
Oh wow.
We will be talking about
1942.
the war during our tour today. However, when we talk about the war, I have to say Valletta was devastated. So when it comes to rebuilding, the main priority was given to the housing, the law courts, the hospitals. So no one really, let's say, paid that much of an attention to the opera house over here. So it was abandoned for a very long time up until we had this Renzo Piano project being launched once
That's why it's all
again.
burnt.
And this time round the people perhaps envisioned something more lavish than an open air theatre. What they had in mind was something like this. This is what our opera house actually looked like in the past. So this is what we actually had over here,
Dang.
which was, let's say, quite lavish when you compare the two. And apart from that, it's something that the people expected. However, it was going to be quite difficult to replicate for the reason that we do not have a lot of pictures. We lost the original blueprints. Apart from that, there was a budgetary restraint where this was cheaper than this, let's say. So some of the soldiers are getting poisoned as well. There's loss of morale and they're wasting a lot of time. So now the Knights of St. John on the other side of the harbour, they managed to win one of their battles. Whilst the Ottomans were fighting in another city, so after the battle there was another battle. done by camera. So the last battle was never won but never lost either, and the Ottomans had no other choice but to surrender that land, leave our island, and secure us the victory of the Great Siege of 1565. This is why over here we're seeing the Grand Master with a sword in hand. That would actually make him the hero, not just because of his plans and strategies, but also because he was fighting on the front lines when the siege came to be. The other thing that he's known for is a scroll in hand. The scroll in hand would be the blueprints of Valletta. And this is because when they won the victory of the siege, he started pushing a little bit forward for the city to be built. So hence the name Valletta being named after Grandmaster de Valletta.
Wow, very interesting hand railing here. I like the design, huh? Huh. Anyways. This is Jean Valletta? Valletta? This is the... No, wait. Oh. This is his. Yeah. Statue. Jean Valletta? So he designed Valletta. So of course, I guess they named it after him.
Sorry about that. Okay, so
Pretty cool.
what we have over here, this is actually the church.
Okay, correction. This, I think he may have designed or something. I don't know, but his name's on it. But this building here, this is where Valletta is buried. This is final resting place. Yeah, it's like a church.
For the Knight of St. John. So it's very important, so it's also going to be built in the 1500s. However, by time the building was expanded, the carvings were added, and we were going to have the building once again being converted into the Baroque style. A style which also shows off wealth, power, triumph, and this is why we're seeing the suit of armor and imposing buildings. It's starting to show the triumph of the Knight of St. John. However, still the person we have in the middle, there's a bust of a Grand Master. That is actually the Grand Master Manuel Pinto da Fonseca. However, he's not really known by his good deeds. Instead, he's known to be as one of the main reasons why the Order of St. John went bankrupt. Apart from that, he did have a bit of a money management problem, where he was spending more than he already had. And the parties, the balls, the mistresses, they all cost quite a lot of money. And he's still ultimately remembered by his cause of death.
So a lot of these buildings, when it was first developed, weren't like this. They didn't have the windows, they didn't have all the designs on it, were very, very plain. And then when the Portuguese came, oop, watch out. Portuguese and what was the other one?
The Castilian.
Castilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they came in, they put all these designs and made it look fancy to show power and wealth. Power, right? Power. Yeah, I want to say power.
The building that we were looking at before is what we were talking about. It used to be very plain, and they added a bunch of carvings of sandstone to have the Baroque style design.
Pretty cool. So, way better looking than just a plain square building.
What we actually have right in front of us is the fortification, which have two flags on top. That is actually the first place where the Knights of St. John decided to settle, and that's also one of the first fortifications that they built in the area, with the name of Fort St. Angelo, where they later on would also build the adjoining city, the city of Vittoriosa. So we have Fort St. Angelo and the joining Vittoriosa. On the opposite direction, where we have some red domes, the Knights also built their second city, the city of Senglea. Now that is called Senglea because it was built by Grandmaster Los Angeles, so they named it after him. These two cities were prominently used during the Great Siege of 1565, and Vittoriosa is known as Victoriosa because it's actually the victorious city. It is where the Knights of St. John secured their victory, and also after the victory of the siege of 1565 they finally decided to build Valletta. That's not all, because on the other side they also built the third city. In between these two there's a yacht marina. Behind the yacht marina there's a lining of trees and buildings, and that would actually be the city of Cospicua, and this is why the area in front of us is famously known as the Three Cities area, an area which continued to flourish by time, and that is actually why, because we actually have the dockyards located in the area as well. If we look a bit more to the side, there's a crane looking like a giraffe over there, and that is actually the dry dock area. In the British time, so 18 and 1900s, we used to have a lot of ships which were being repaired. Apart from that, we used to also take in the wounded soldiers. So we were going to have Malta, for instance, in the First World War, being nicknamed as the nurse of the Mediterranean Sea, and this is because of the number of people that we used to have in the area. However, this naval base economy that we used to have would completely shift after the leaving of the British in the 1960s. By the 60s we actually had other economies like tourism taking over. Today we would also have fish farming, we also have online gaming, and apart from that there's to the view also there's a breakwater, and adjoining there's another fortification, that is the Fort Ricasoli. The Fort Ricasoli is the place where we film movies, so that is for the Malta Film Commission, and it's quite interesting, let's say, because our own cities, our own places and buildings are sometimes being depicted as other cities as well. Like for instance, the Grand Harbour area, it was used as a port in Marseille in the 1800s in the movie The Count of Monte Cristo. They created that scenario. Apart from that, we would also have, let's say, other cities like Imbina being used as a fictitious medieval city in Game of Thrones, season 1 of Game of Thrones. Apart from that, we also had the fort itself used for different perceptions. Like for instance, there's an area within that fort that could be filled with water. In the movie Captain Phillips, they filled everything in there pretending to be out at sea. Same thing goes in the same fort, there's another area secluded for the wants and needs of the director. Like for instance in Gladiator, they decided to build a Colosseum within that area just for the purpose of the movie. So we're definitely employing a lot of people as the hair, costumes, makeup, extras, logistics, all of these people are actually being employed, and apart from that we are also going to have people getting quite excited about this. Excited in a way that we usually have stars like Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill, Tom Hanks, Russell Crowe, all filming on the island, so that generates quite a lot of excitement. Apart from that, it's always interesting seeing the final product, especially when fiction is involved. We had the movie Jurassic World Dominion, where we had the opportunity to see dinosaurs in Valletta, but in World War Z we saw zombies instead. So having these scenarios is also quite fun. Now I believe we are halfway through to our tour. The sun is out, so we can take our breaks over here. Now for the restrooms, all you have to do.
Look at this. This cat's got some friends.
This one.
Oh,
Right there.
That's cat. That's funny. I'm like, wait, what bird? What the heck?
They're everywhere.
It's a kitty haven.
Apparently.
This is a kitty cat cafe. Wow. Meow, meow. Alright, it's got 2 lattes and 2 pastries. Came to €9. It's not bad at all. Got one of these things. It's peas inside. Oh no, it's up here. Yeah, you can get it either with cheese in it or peas for €1. Coffees are more expensive. There she is. Alright, off to our next spot. Take a little 20-minute break. Sun's out. No more rain. So much better. We're about halfway through our tour. Definitely reminds me of Rome. Wow. Huh? Look at that. Look at that. Just look at it.
The place which I told you used to be used by merchants and traders. However, we also have some historical buildings in the area. If you actually look towards this direction, there's a perfect banner sticking out, and that would be the former abode of the Italian knights. But today it's actually the art museum. So over there we actually have contemporary, Baroque, medieval. It's quite a mixture of art pieces. So if you're interested in art, that's a place that you can also visit in your own free time. Opposite side we have another building with 2 balconies sticking out. That is actually the former Palazzo Pariso. It used to be a house belonging to nobility. Today it's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now when it was a house belonging to nobility, we used to have a very famous European historical figure living over there as well. And that would actually be Napoleon himself, who did spend some time living on the island.
Napoleon?
When we say Napoleon was living here, he only spent 1 week on our island.
Wow.
And not more than that. However, he was here because the Knights of St. John, they were actually expelled from our islands in 1798, and the French took over during the same time period. Now today during our tour we will be talking more about the French period, so we'll be getting into more detail about this. However, for now we mentioned that we had a lot of rulers. So in the beginning of the tour we mentioned the Arabs, there was the Normans, the Romans, the Aragonese, so these people were on our island. We also mentioned that the Knights of the Order of St. John were practically coming from all over Europe, so that also helps with our influences. And apart from that, we were also going to have people like the French, whom we just introduced, the British as well, whom we already mentioned as well. So we're going to have all of these influences, and we're going to have these influences affecting our own culture. For instance, if we take the language, which is very important, the language is a mixture where 80% of it is actually Arabic. The rest is going to be Italian, French, Spanish, so it's quite a mixture. If we start a bit with the language, how we speak, if we say good morning in Maltese, we usually say bonjour.
Bonjour.
Buongiorno, bonjour, so it's on that side, Italian, French. However, if we are to welcome someone within the city wall, we usually say merhaba. which
Marba.
now is more Arabic. Also, if I want to count in Maltese, 1, 2, 3, we had the name Klita, which is also Arabic. However, if I'm to say thank you, goodbye in the informal way, we have grazie and ciao,
Grazie.
which is Italian.
Italian.
So you can understand the mixture of, let's say, languages that we have all amalgamated in one. It looks quite
St.
plain
John's
or
Cathedral.
new. The thing is that the St. John's Cathedral is precious from the inside. Everything that we have inside is covered in art, and if we're going to take, for instance, the ceiling of the church is all covered in fresco paintings done by the Italian artist Mattia Preti, and they're depicting the life of St. John the Baptist. St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of the Order of St. John, and the church is dedicated to him as well. Apart from that, we have the walls, and the walls are all carvings like we've been seeing on buildings, but this time around they're all covered in gilded gold. So the church is literally golden
Wow.
all over.
Gold.
Apart from that, we also have the side chapels, where each and every side chapel would have its own carvings and designs and frescoes, so it's all richly decorated. Then we also have the floor. Now the floor is actually made out of tombstones.
Oh, wow.
Tombstones, because the Knights of St. John used to be
Tombstones.
buried within this church. Now, when we see the tombstones, they're interesting because it's not just the designs are not just bones or skulls. Instead, you can find flowers, music notes, books even. So they're trying to show the triumphs, good things that the life of St. John had in their life practically. Apart from that, apart from all of these decorations within the church, we also have the adjoining oratory. Now up here we have the clocks. One of the clocks is reading the time, the other two are reading the date. And the adjoining building, that is actually the oratory. Within the oratory
wow.
we have several other paintings.
That's cool.
We have two of them are done by another Italian artist. This time round we have Michelangelo Merisi, or much better known as Caravaggio. So having two of Caravaggio's paintings here on the island, that is actually quite interesting, and we're also quite proud of that as well. Now we're also quite lucky that he had a tendency to get into trouble a lot, and this is because let's say he was doing very well in Rome, so if he did not get into trouble there, he would never have come to our island. Now Caravaggio, he got into trouble in Rome by actually getting into a fight where he killed someone, so the punishment was going to be an execution. He managed to flee from Rome, and he started going round from one land to another in Italy, hopping from one state to another, where he kept on getting chased and getting into even more trouble. And this is how eventually people would start recommending the Maltese islands. Now Caravaggio came to Malta, and he was given quite a warm welcome. He was not just pardoned from all of his crimes, he was admitted within the order of the Knights of St. John.
Wow.
A very nice welcome. However, at the time they were building new churches, they're about to refurbish St. John's Cathedral. So, you know, if we're going to keep him here, look at all the good works that he's going to give us. And this is how he got his second chance. But still here on the island we only have two paintings, because he got into trouble here again. This time round it was actually another fight where he wounded a fellow Italian knight. He was arrested and imprisoned in Fort St. Angelo, and that's the last thing we hear of Caravaggio. We have no idea what happens next.
Wow.
Now some people will tell you he escaped. or he smuggled out. However, no one is really going to be 100% sure because there is nothing written in our archives. What we do know is that somehow he made it back to Italy. Now in Italy there were evidences of himself being there because he was spotted there. They found some of his paintings that he did after his time in Malta, and apart from that he was found dead on one of the beaches in Italy as well. The cause
Dang.
of that, well, it's still a bit of a mystery, where some people would say that he got into another fight, he got wounded, the wounds were infected and he perished. Others would say that this is the case of lead poisoning.
Ah.
Lead poisoning, because artists at the time to
Paint.
create certain pigments for the paintings, they used to mix the color with lead. They also had a very bad habit of wetting paintbrushes by putting them on their mouth. So if there's the traces of lead, they were consuming it.
Oh
So
my
that
gosh.
is highly dangerous indeed. And this is actually how people, not just Caravaggio, were getting sick and passing. Now, the thing is that the two paintings we have in there are indeed the works of a genius. It's quite a big tragedy to befall the artistic world. And starting with the smaller painting, which is that of Saint Jerome translating the Bible. This is so detailed that it's literally like a photograph, and it also feels as if the saint is literally going to start writing. But what's very interesting about this painting is the face of Saint Jerome. It oddly resembles the face of Grandmaster Winiarcourt. Grandmaster Winiarcourt happens to be the person in charge when Caravaggio came to Malta. So what we assume might have happened. Caravaggio is painting the saint, however he decided to use the face of the current Grandmaster. He finished the painting, he showed it to the Grandmaster, and the Grandmaster was impressed. So he decided to give Caravaggio his second chance. Now, Caravaggio would also be commissioned to paint the other painting, by far the largest of Caravaggio's, the beheading of Saint John.
Dang.
It's a beheading, so there's the element of macabre. But apart from that, we were also going to have the theatrical scene, the element of a theatrical scene, where we have the use of the chiaroscuro technique. Chiaroscuro, light against darkness, where people up close, the characters up close are painted into lighter colors. The further we go to the background, the darker the color would become. The chiaroscuro, light against darkness.
That is cool. Alright, off to our next spot. Just kind of going through little areas. We don't really go into anything with this tour. It's all pretty much just walking up to like sites and talking about a little bit of history and how it was discovered and how it's made, or people that was there. Yeah, so far it's not bad. It's kind of slower paced, but everything else, the more in-depth tours that go into the museums and stuff for a lot more money. So this is not bad. Pretty good information. Get to walk around.
So this is the main entrance to St. John's Cathedral. Now they're usually open from 9 a.m. The last entrance is 4:15 in the afternoon. They close at 5.
Alright, off to the next spot. Wow, this little alley here. This is really cool. Wow. That's cool. Beers, ales, wines, and spirits. Ooh, the pasta window. What? That's cool. You can order pasta right from the window. Look at this thing. Burgers Inc. Oh, wow. This is so cool. Nom nom. All kinds of cool places in here. Paces model. Oh, it smells. 58 cocktail bar. Pastas. Pastas? Pastas. Wow, this is really cool. So all these balconies weren't original. They actually made these once people moved in.
National Theatre of Malta, and this would actually be also built by the Knights of the Order of St. John. But this time round, the Knights of St. John wanted to create a space of entertainment, so the Grand Master Antonio Manuel de Villena decided to build this theatre for the honest recreation of the people, which was actually the motto of the theatre at the time. Apart from that, it was a very successful theatre where the knights used to participate in their own performances as well, until it unfortunately reached a decline when the opera house mentioned in the beginning of the tour was actually open. That actually took the spotlight away from this theatre, and the main let's say the main attraction was the theatre rather than this. It remained abandoned for quite some time, up until we actually had this theatre being revived as a black and white cinema, and it was also quite successful during this time period. But short-lived, because shortly after we were actually going to have the Second World War, where these theatres were closed due to the aerial bombardments.
Wow.
Now we were also going to have this theatre being used as a place of shelter during the war. So we were having people coming and sleeping in boxes over here. It was considered to be quite a safe space, because if you're just walking by and not paying that much of attention, you can easily miss that this is a theatre. The thing is that the interior is beautiful. There's frescoes, paintings, there's chandeliers, it's quite richly decorated, but this is not really visible from the facade. It's also not visible from aerial bombardment, so it was going to be ignored. It was not going to be as targeted as opposite to the other opera house that we spoke about during the beginning of the tour, which was more targeted. So we were going to have one theatre being destroyed, the other thankfully preserved.
Oh, wow. Holy moly. Dang. St. Paul's Pro Cathedral. Paro. It's Pro Cathedral. St. Paul's Pro Cathedral. Wow, this thing's pretty massive. Surprised this thing didn't get bombed. Well, that didn't,
The church, and this time round we're going to start a bit chronologically by talking about the monument first. The monument is commemorating the French riots that we actually had on the island, and earlier we already mentioned the Knights of St. John leaving the island, the French took over. What was happening at the time is that in 1798 the Knights of St. John were completely bankrupt. They could no longer protect the people, they couldn't really generate an economy at the time, and this is why we're going to have the French superpower of the time actually taking over. Now the thing is that the French took over, and with them they brought a lot of reforms. Reforms like we are talking about an introduction to the educational system. We had the establishing of the local councils. There was also abolition of slavery and imposition. So quite a lot of reforms technically. However, still we're going to have the Knights of the French, the Maltese people rioting against the French 3 months after the arrival of the French in Malta. Now, the thing about the riots was that first of all we had the position of taxes That was also an initiative for people to join war in Egypt at the time. However, it was rumored that these people are not going to get paid, and apart from that, we also had the looting of churches. When people saw that the gold and silver were being taken away from churches and auctioned off, this was actually the last resort, and riots started. Now, the first riots, they would actually have been in Indina, and that is because there was an auction about to take place over there, where the people actually snuck in within the city wall. They caught the French by surprise and managed to win the Indina area.
Wow.
However, when it comes to a place like Valletta, we found out that the military was prepared, so instead of fighting here, they decided to blockade the city. The blockade would mean they're going to cut off things like food and water from entering within the city wall, and for this to be successful, the people needed help. This is how eventually they're going to turn to another superpower of the time, and the British got involved.
So the British took over this area, Malta, or sorry, Valletta, until 1960s. So a lot of stuff like the phone booth back here and driving on the opposite side of the road, all from British. It's the Britons ran it. So pretty cool concept, you know, I mean, not concept, but pretty cool information. Yeah, so the French took over and then the British took over. So it's never been really, even the Maltan people, they actually want the British to run it. They don't want the Knights of St. John to run it. For whatever reason, they just did not like them.
We used to have quite a lot of sailors coming to the area for entertainment, for partying, for let's say dancing and drinking. The thing is that these sailors used to be out at sea for quite a long while, and their first opportunity to actually come on land would be here in Malta. So they're going to definitely come to Street for this kind of entertainment. Now, we were going to have all kinds of schemes and activities going on Straight Street. Like, for instance, they used to hire people to actually accommodate as well as encourage sailors to actually go within the bars and the pubs. And they used to do this for the reason that these people would get commission in the end. So they used to be quite encouraging when it comes to admitting people towards these places. Apart from that, we used to also have the entertainers, the singers and the dancers actually, let's say, flirting or talking a bit to the sailors for the reasons that they wanted to bring the extra drinks, because with the extra drinks they get commission at the end of the evening. Apart from that, we were also going to have, let's say, the target on the drunken sailors. When it comes to the drunken sailors, they used to actually prepare a box of broken plates or glasses, and they used to go near this drunken sailor and start accusing him that he was the person who actually broke everything. So he would have to pay for something that he did not do. Apart from this, we were also going to have all kinds of sometimes some tourist things going on, like prostitution. We had bar fights, sometimes things escalated to murder. So Street would gain certain notorious titles like the Gut or the Red Light District. Now, the thing is that Street would also reach a complete decline. And
Well, I just got farted on. I don't know if you caught the end of that clip, but yeah, the guy in front of me had no idea I was behind him, I guess, and I just, yeah.
No, I think he knew. He did it to me earlier.
Oh yeah, she got farted on earlier, so we both got farted on today, by the same guy. I don't know if it's, I don't understand. He straight pushed it on me. That was like,
I'm gonna say he was somewhere.
no.
To me either.
Didn't even look at me. I was like, really? It was straight like just gas. It wasn't like a slow, you know, like those ones that just kind of creep out. Oh, it just, oh yeah, yeah. He just straight up just pushed it on me. Yeah, it's those enclosed spaces. I'm like, nope, I'm moving back. Yeah, right? At least let it out in the open area. Well, that was fun. She was cool. Great tour guide. Very informative. So also right here, this is one of the main areas that got bombed in World War II. And if you see some of the buildings, they were repaired, including the theater that was in the beginning of the tour. And yeah, it was bombed by Italy because Italy wanted this land in World War II, but the British was running at the time, so very interesting. This was a whole military base basically during the World War II era. Very cool. Yeah, I love all this. Like the telephones. So yeah, just kind of on our own now. A lot of museums are closed now. The aquarium is on the other side of the island, which is very far. And then also, we're thinking about doing the Blue Lagoon, but there isn't any tours right now. So it's very unfortunate that you know, we're only here for a day, so we have to cram in as much as we can. And I really want to get a tour of the city, so that's what we pretty much did. But the rest of it is just pretty much sightseeing. Restaurants, might grab some food here in a little bit, but we're here till 9 o'clock tonight, so we can do some just walking around and exploring. Went to a gift shop. Look at the difference here. Look at the Fantas here. Huh, interesting. And their Powerades. Yeah. Film in the fridge, because well, did a little bit of shopping, got some souvenirs, but looked up museums. That's the only thing about having a late night at a port is everything's kind of closed. All the museums are closed. There's one more that's open. It closes like half an hour. I'm not sure what's going on here, by the way. But yeah, everything closes pretty much. All the museums are pretty much closed. So now we're just kind of walking around. Might get something to eat. Lots of dessert spots, sightseeing. But yeah, we're pretty much gonna stay in Valletta. Valletta? Yeah, Valletta for the rest of the night. She's getting a necklace. So yeah, pretty much just gonna be hanging out in here the rest of the night. Hopefully everything stays open pretty late. I'm not sure exactly when everything closes down, but we're here till pretty much 8:30 tonight. So I'm just gonna continue walking around. I like these little streets, man. Very cool. Very intimate. Cool little place to have a date or anything. They don't really have places like this in, at least where I live. It's pretty nice. It's starting to get a little cold now, so I might just have to find somewhere warm. It's supposed to be like low 60s tonight, so during the day it was like 70, 65, but raining. So, but luckily it looks like it shouldn't be raining for us tonight, so that's good. Alright, so we found this little bar down here, and this is what we're doing a shot of. Something traditional here, you know.
On the video, show this.
Okay.
Like this one.
This is straight from here. It's the plant here. It's a
From the prickly
pear. And it's both. It's like a what is that? A vodka? Like a.
It's a liqueur.
Liqueur. Okay.
It's made from prickly pear.
Prickly pear. All right, we're gonna try it out.
Made here in Malta.
Yep. When you're in Malta. Cheers.
Cheers.
I just realized I have like a Superman curl. It must have been from the rain.
I must have bought mine because it's good.
That is good.
It's really good.
That's good.
Very good.
Yeah. I like that. So if you guys come to this bar, we left a little mini duck here. Actually, Lindsay did. It's right next to the eagle. And just tell the bartender we sent you here.
Duck's name is Josie.
Josie. Yep. Really good guy here. Really good staff.
And what's your name again? I'm so sorry. What's your name again?
Boris.
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 Come see Boris.
Come see Boris. He's the man. He'll tell you what to drink here. Alright, man. Nice meeting you.
They never say never trust the bartender, but you can trust me.
Exactly. Never trust the bartender, but you can trust him. This is La Bodega. Cool little bar here on the strip. Look at this, Sam. Very cool place. This little street, man, it's all filled with lots of fun stuff. And yeah, Fracca's next door. So, there you go. Oh, wow. Look at this. We're back here at night and it looks all nice and lit up. That is so cool. Dude, this place is awesome. I wish we had more. Oh, wow. Yeah, I wish I had more time here. You got music playing in here too. Dude, that is so nice. Oh, beautiful here at night. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful city at night. This museum closes at 9, by the way, guys. So if you guys have a nighttime cruise here, definitely check that out. We didn't have time, unfortunately. We really just wanted to check out most of the town of Valletta. So did a lot of shops and got to hang out a little bit, take in the scenery, you know, the people. So, man, I wish we had more time though. That's the only thing that's kind of bad, I guess, about showing up later in the day. So we get very little time to do fun excursions and stuff. But I don't know, we'll definitely be back. We told the bartender we'll be back because I left our ducky there. He said he'll still be here, so we have to come back and visit it. Really cool people here. There she is. I'm gonna keep saying that. There she is. Oh man, the Sapphire. Making our way down. Gotta go all the way back down the hill. Now, if you guys plan on walking this route up to Valletta, I don't suggest it. It's definitely a hike. It's a 20-minute hike, just up to the fountain there where we got to earlier. So just a heads up, it is definitely a hike. Okay, so little things I learned today on the tour. There's actually a lot I learned, but it's hard to go over everything. A lot of stuff I didn't really. You kind of have to look at buildings and stuff like that. But just recently, 1970s, I believe, 1960s, they became free, like fully free. 1969, and then not till 1974. 64 is when they finally got their like independence, and then 1974. Malta, I'm like thinking all these characters. Malta got their official freedom is when the last British military ships finally left. They said they want ordnance, basically. They want, not ordnance, but they want the British all out. Across the street here. Anyways, they want the British out of Malta, and now they got their independence. They have a voting system here now, like just kind of like the U.S., where they have to vote in a presidency, and then a chairman, and not chairman, I think chairman, I don't know, but yeah, I don't think they have a vice president. She didn't mention a vice president, but it's pretty cool. They have their own thing going on here now, so it's ran by their own people. It's pretty nice. Yeah, it's just so much history here, man. It's basically like a military island. Yeah. So long, Azura. Azura? Oh, wrong way. I'm like, we're in the middle of the road. About to get hit while vlogging. Guys, I don't recommend vlogging and walking at the same time. Oh man, she is pretty at night. The weather is like perfect right now. It's not windy, it's not cold. I'm actually kind of warm right now from all the walking down the hill. Also, my right foot is killing me right now. My tendon, I don't know what's going on. I think my shoe's been rubbing up against my tendon wrong. So, not a good idea. I just bought these shoes a month ago, and this is the most amount of walking I've done. Matter of fact, I just checked about halfway here, coming down. 13,000 steps. I didn't realize I'd done that many today. Oh boy. Yeah. Lindsay's feeling better. She's way up there. Just, yeah. I'll get there eventually. Anyways. Yeah, this is nice. Look at it all pretty. It's amazing what some lighting can do. My butt hurts from last night. Alright, sailing away.
And now I'm talking in your video.
Oh my gosh.
You better do that again.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, we got some we got some wine. This night we're not passing out.
You're really gonna take that shot.
We're not. No. This is going in the. Oh my gosh. Wait. So anyways, this is, look over here. That is cool. Looks really nice tonight. And so anyways, over here, all that is owned by yeah, the studios. So they use this for movies. That's pretty cool. Probably, if you guys didn't hear it today in the tour. Man, this is beautiful at night. And actually, what's kind of cool is that doing this, it's super rare because not too many ships get to leave the harbor this late at night in Malta. Usually they come in the morning and they leave before sunfall. So the fact that we get to see this on the way out, definitely a spectacular moment. So, but yeah, look at this. Oh my God. We were up there today. That's where she was talking about the movies. Look at that in the background. Wow. Hmm. That is pretty. Oh wow, look at the temple here. Man, there's so much of Malta we want to explore. I believe that's actually in Valletta. Yeah, all this is Valletta. Valletta? No, it's Valletta. 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 Gosh. There she is. We're both getting footage of the ship leaving the harbor. Man, it's so nice. That is cool. It's crazy. That was a whole fortress. There's the other ship. I guess they're leaving later. Got it. That was awesome. Ah, see, it is motion censored. Okay. That's cool. You're like, is it going? Is it gonna go?
Don't do this when you're too drunk.
No. Be careful. Go up sober and make sure you leave. Yeah. The elevator. Don't take this. Well, that's why it's only one way. That makes sense. There's not a one way. There's not one down. Yep. Yeah, this is way better. It was windy and smoky out there from the fumes. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we showed up to the buffet at 10 minutes after 10, and we just out of food. 15 after 10? Yeah, 15 minutes after 10. And we just got here when they're closing, and the staff here, super nice. They're like, you wanted some food? Because, you know, at the end of the night, they throw this all away. Like, all this food away. You know, that's one thing Lindsay and I were talking about is, like, it'd be nice if they just left some of this food out, and then whatever it goes, you know, instead of like throwing it all away, like instead of refilling it constantly all night, just leave it out, and whatever goes until like a certain time, and then just throw it away. But the fact that like at a certain time, like 10 o'clock or 9:30, I think it is, they shut the buffet down, and then that's it. Like all the food in there that's just sitting there, they just throw it away. So, anyways, the lady here was super nice, and she hooked us up with some chicken. What is it called? Oh, sorry.
Orzo pasta salad.
Orzo pasta salad. And then the chef gave us smoothies, 2 each. He's like, "You guys want some smoothies?" Yeah, hooked us up. So, man, staff, man, never disappointed. They're amazing people, and I can't thank them enough, you know, for being so nice and stuff. So, but yeah, after this, the only thing open is the International Cafe, which on the 5th floor, and it's just basic sandwiches that are dry and stuff. So, basic stuff. I don't know, not a fan of it, but yeah, got some good dinner.
Some is good, it's just kind of not the same. It's always the same thing.
Yeah.
Pastries and...
Yeah, it's always the same thing. It's kind of bland stuff, nothing crazy, like actual dinner. I was telling her back in the day when I first came on the ship, I think it was 2009, pretty sure. I came up here at 1 in the morning and just sat here with the DJ, my ex and I, and it was cool, just hanging out, just talking about stuff, and you know, it was nice. There's a little bit of food out. And the only time they closed the buffet at those times were when they transitioned from breakfast to lunch and lunch to dinner. So I know things have changed a little bit since the pandemic and whatnot, but still, you know, 6 years later, and I don't know, I feel like they should definitely bring something back, or at least extended hours. So, oh well, but glad we got to eat though. Mm-hmm. Cool. By the way, this is really good. I'm not even kidding. Like, buffet food is usually like a hit or miss. But this is really good. They did a really good job on this. Alright, several hours later. We ended up going back to the room and then hitting the hot tub. And boy, that almost put us out. We finally got in the hot tub. But it was cool. It was really super chill. Went in the indoor one instead of the outdoor one because, man, it is cold out. So, yeah, it was cool. It was a good time. Anyways, man, Malta. Malta, boy, honestly, before this cruise, I really knew nothing about Malta, and maybe a lot of you guys don't know much about Malta either, but man, that's what I love about cruising. You learn so much about the places you go to, and now when I get home, I can pinpoint about exactly where Malta is at, and talk about a little bit of history of it. So, before today, I had no idea. You can tell me, where's Malta? And I'm like, what is Malta? Is that even a place? Like, I knew that you know, some other people have been there before, like Adam and stuff like that. But honestly, I couldn't tell you where it's at. So, pretty cool. Malta is it's across from Italy, and it's a little island, little tiny dot on the map. It's like Hawaii basically, but not like tropical thing, but it's like Hawaii come to America, you know, like when people think of America, they don't think of Hawaii, you know. So, but yeah, it's its own, you know, region, country. But anyways, it's super cool, super cool. We got to learn a lot about it, and it was a fun time. But other than that, tomorrow, Sicily's gonna be fun. I think tomorrow we have a cooking excursion. We're gonna make our own pasta. Never done that before, so it's gonna be cool. It's a 3-hour excursion. I'm not sure how I'm gonna vlog it. I'm still gonna try to figure that out. But yeah, we're gonna basically make our own pasta, and then we get to eat it. And on top of that, the recipe that we'll be cooking, we get to take home with us, so we can make it again at home. So that's pretty cool. It wasn't bad, and it's at someone's house in Sicily. That's even cooler. Like you go to someone's house and they're showing us their tradition of making pasta. I mean, that's get more Italian than that, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, that's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, tomorrow 7 a.m. we dock, and then all on board is 3:30. So we're leaving by 4. Shorter day tomorrow. So, but our excursion is from 11 till 3. It's a 3-hour excursion. So that's basically gonna take up most of our day. So other than that, we'll probably just walk around Sicily and see what else we can get into down there. yeah, man. See, Sicily. I don't even know. I can't tell you anything about Sicily right now because I don't know much. I've heard of it, obviously, but so again, this is why I love cruising, man. You get to learn about the areas that you're going to, let alone the Mediterranean Sea. Like, yeah, I know where it's at, but it's like I don't know much about it. You know, it's like, but I learned a lot, so much in this cruise. So, but anyways, I'm gonna head to bed. We got an excursion tomorrow. Probably do a little sleeping in. Not be off the ship at 7, because man, we are beat. We are beat. This is the thing. Lindsay and I were talking about, like, we love the ports. Like, this is great. Like, it's, you know, great and all, but man, ports back to back to back, they can kill you, man. Our energy is like we have 2 more days, 2 more port days. So it's like, oh man, Sicily and Naples, 2 more places in Italy. It's gonna be fun, but man, they can be exhausting. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get some rest, and tomorrow's a big day. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and it's so much fun. And man, that was really cool. We had a fortress, an actual fortress. That was awesome. So anyways, guys, I love you guys all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Sicily. Have a good night, guys. Bye.